Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to episode 18 of our Let's Play series, 1941 Grand Campaign as the Soviets. In this episode, we're going to be completing turn 8 and kind of focusing on the southern half of our front, and then we'll also look at where we're going to bring in our reinforcements, our reserves, going to do some transfers from other theater boxes, need to consider all of that. So, we left off right here just south of Aryol, and we left feeling kind of like this was the greatest area of opportunity from the entire episode, where north of Aryol, really, we're, for the most part, across the front line here, we're feeling pretty good about how things are going. Don't have too many concerns about what everything else is looking like. Maybe I'm being lured into some false pretense here of security, but really Aryol was one of the concerns for me. Now, Kursk obviously might look the more vulnerable target and such, given the terrain in between and such, but what I'm worried about is if they can manage to sneak through this little gap that I have in my line where I'm much weaker. My worry is that that will allow them to cut through north to Aryol, and then that threatens our entire defense of this terrain leading up to Moscow, right? I'm worried about their ability to take Aryol all the way up to Tula, and then all the way to Moscow, because although it is longer in terms of miles, it is so much more difficult for me to defend this terrain because of how open and clear it is. Whereas I want them to focus their efforts going through the Smolensk pocket up towards Moscow, going through these swamps, these heavy forests, etc. And also there's great logistics for them if they go through this Aryol route. So I'm really kind of worried about that. And even since the last episode, I've continued to look at this, and I think I'm going to reposition this rifle division here, because I do think this is kind of the greatest threat that I currently face that I need to address. Currently, they're in low supply. I mean, they have 30% ammo, 30% general supplies, but it's 13,000 men. And if next turn the Axis does attack this unit right here with what they already have mustered, much less the Panzer divisions that are sitting north and south here, this would be a complete rout, and I'll lose thousands of men, and they'll take the hex anyway. So I've been thinking about this, and what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this unit and I'm going to pull them back here to this forest, and I'm hoping that because of zone of control, they won't be able to reach this unit until another turn from now, which means they'll have the opportunity to not only resupply but maybe start to fortify into this unit. And although I may not be able to stop them completely from taking Aryol, just as we mentioned with Kursk in the previous turn, they will capture both of these cities, but I want to make it as painful for them as possible. And there is kind of this route where they could get through, but because of our presence, they're going to exhaust all of their movement points and get considerable fatigue if they try to cut through, which means they'll have to fight us in these forest areas. I'm also going to go up here, and I'm going to take, I think, the 257th Rifle Division. I'm going to take that and move it back here to start sitting in this town. And we'll see if they can't get a fortification level of 1 before they actually make contact with us. So that'll kind of be the goal there. And then what I'm currently considering is whether or not I take out this airborne brigade, or if I take out the rifle division. But I'm thinking it might be better to actually not surrender, but to give up this hex and to start building back here. Well, no, you know what? We're going to make them fight for this one, I think. Down here, I'm going to similarly take this rifle division that's currently on refit status. I'm going to move them north to also sit in this hex, and then combined, that gives them 20,000 men to start digging in here. I'm hoping that can really be impactful. As we look south, we're going to keep this unit here as a bit of a stopping force. This unit I'm actually going to withdraw back here to, I think this hex. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we have 5 and 5. Back here, I don't need 2 units, so we're going to take one of these. Actually, I'm going to bring them north here, I think. So that's 11 now. So now we have 8, 11, 11, 5. This one will probably fall, but I at least want them to fight for it. And they're in a pretty dug-in position. Their supply status is good. Let's see if we don't have any support units we can't assign to maybe help with the panzer units. No, just AA. We're still trying to get a lot of our anti-tank support units up to a sufficient TOE to start deploying them. And then back here, like we've got this guy here that's just 2 defensive value. Really, he's not contributing that much by holding that hex, so I'm going to pull him back as well. And we'll start digging in, I think, up here in this swamp hex. Because really, these 2 hexes in these light woods will be critical in kind of that last defensive line before they start to approach Kursk. So we'll have him get started there. Looking south, I mean, we're sitting pretty good here. So I think we're going to leave all of this just as is. Actually, I forgot one thing I think up here. I don't need my HQ unit to be here. So I'm going to draw them back. And I think I'm also going to draw back this unit that's on refit. And I think similarly I'm going to put them in the hex with the HQ now. So that will help with their refit. And then they can start digging into that hex with light woods as well. Yeah, so we've got kind of multiple layers here to help. But I'm going to go one step further, and I'm going to bring back that rifle division too. Yeah, and then these guys we're going to toss to a reserve status. Hopefully they can help as they come in and start attacking these areas. This is going to be tense when we're sitting here watching the simulation. I already know I'll be sweating bullets during this one. South here, they have one area where they have 2-to-1 odds. That's right here. I don't know if they're actually going to try to push through, so we're going to... Well... Yeah, you know, we're actually just going to draw them back 1 hex. Get the same defensive value, but now we force them into our zone of control to then attack. Is kind of the thought process there. Back here you have these 2 airborne brigades on refit, that rifle division. Do they need to be on refit though? Nope, mean to do that. Rifle squad 67%. You know what, that's going to have to be good enough. So they're going to be put over to ready. And then I'm going to take these airborne units. I'm going to move them back here. Take these guys forward. There we go. That's a good switch. 16, 11. We're probably looking pretty good in these hexes. These are almost... No, they're on refit. They shouldn't be on refit. They should be on ready. It's a good question if we want to pull these guys back now, or if we want to wait. That's clear terrain there. I think we're going to leave them there. This unit, this rifle division, we will pull back. I'm going to pull them back to here. Toss that anti-tank brigade. Well, actually, let's bring them back even further. Let's bring them... Where do I want them? Them right there. This anti-tank unit. Let's bring them back over to this side. I don't think I need 2 units here. So let's maybe leave the rifle division and move the mechanized division. Really, when we look at it, probably going to need to start digging in here. So bring them over there. This airborne unit's only 165 minutes, so I'm just going to toss them there. They can help with that digging. Here we have the airborne corps, which we're just going to toss you back there. This rifle division's on refit. Don't know that they need to be still. Yep, they're going to be okay to Go off of refit. So we have 3 defensive value here. This guy's just sitting alone. Do we have... It's clear terrain there, so that's really not a defensible position. So where do we want to put these guys? Probably back to here, I think. This is going to be the new line, right? This is where we're going to start falling back to. Let's take you up here. Should you still be on refit is the question. No medium tanks, no heavy tanks. Yes, you should still be on refit. You're at 5 defensive value. What I think I'm going to do with you is pull you back here. Probably just want to pull them back all the way. What's your situation? No medium tanks. Well, yeah, 1 medium tank. Whole bunch of light tanks and heavy tanks. Let's have you come down here. I'm going to set you to reserve. What's your status? Let's see. A lot of light tanks, a couple of flame tanks, cavalry tanks. Do the same thing with you. I'm going to set you... Oh, you have to stay on refit. Okay. I worry about these guys getting cut off. So I think I'm just going to pull them back now. I'm going to take you here because we have this fortification level. This rifle division's pretty full strength, so that's good. Let's bring you back here as well. So that's a very defensible position there now. Then we're going to take you back up here, I think. Do I keep you there? It's a tough one. I think I will. So this is the weak point here. These 2 rifle divisions that need to be on refit. Let's withdraw them so their men can start digging in once they get into an unroute status. Okay. Back here, 26 men. Are you kidding? Just gonna disband you. Okay. So now, right, we had brought in our reinforcements to Kharkov because we realized we really were at threat of them breaking through in this entire area. So we're going to start bringing these guys down to start digging in a little. Let's take that cavalry division down there. Start populating a bit of a grid of layers that will force them to fight through. Rifle division can go there. Can go up there. There we go. It's looking good. This rifle division will bring down here. All right. I think I can start assigning all of you to the 18th Army. Oh, not TOE. There we go. Excellent. So you guys almost done with this 18th Army. Just 3 more to go. All right. I'm going to take that HQ and move them here. All right, so there's that. So now this is an entire extra layer that we have between the Axis and Kharkov. So that's good. And then what we'll do is we'll probably slowly start to fall back to this tree line here that runs along the Donets. And now is where we start to get into some difficult questions in the south here. Oh, wait, this cavalry division, I think I want to move them back. I think I just want to move them back 1. Do I want to take them all the way back here? Short of the story is I have to start finding somewhere to pull all these guys back to. I think I'm just going to pull them back here. Are you really unready? I could really use you. Yeah, you're... Well... Can I get you off of unready status? No. Just have to stay on refit. Ah, okay. You back there then. Set you to refit too. And refit. Need to get these HQs back. So now we find ourselves with refit units as our front line, it looks like. Surely you don't need to be refit. You're okay. Certainly like you to have more tanks, but you're okay. You're not ready, so we'll move you back. What a mess. What a complete mess. Some of these areas I just have to start pulling back, I think. Yeah, I have to. This mountain division, you. Let's bring you right up here. Gives us 5. That's good. You, we're gonna bring up here. Gives us 2. We're gonna go refit behind the lines here. Okay. Yeah, this is all tough. All very tough. Very challenging. A lot of fun. Really glad doing them. The scenario. Just lots of tough decisions here. Pull back. Ooh. It's not quite what I intended. Let's move you up here because there's still quite a few units that you need to stay in contact with, it looks like. This guy is unready. Jeez, we're pulling back here, I guess. What a mess. I should just pull you guys back now. I really should. So we're gonna do that. Move you up there. And move you there. This road towards Dmitrovsk. We're just gonna pull him back to here. So there's that. Which then, again, I think changes where I have this HQ unit. So let's move them here. I've moved this HQ unit practically everywhere this turn. Move you back here. Now this will sit on the unit you're refitting. And then this pocket, you need to start pulling back. So let's actually take the rifle division and put them here. Mountain rifle can go there. Going to take this HQ unit off that hex. We'll take this rifle division to the city. There we go. Now I need to start pulling all of you south. There we go. All right. So this is clear terrain. Although I've built fortifications there, I don't know that I want to hold clear terrain. So let's take the 261st Rifle Division, move them here. Let's see. Move you down here. Then I can take this Cavalry Division, pull them south where I'm desperately in need of assistance. Desperately. Just horrible situation down here. Okay. And I can take this guy down here. Oh my, this is getting tough. It's the 226 I want to get down here, I think. I'm going to take this cavalry division back one. Oh, we can't make it. I should have looked at that beforehand. That's not good. So what can make it there? Ooh, I botched that. I botched that. So I'm gonna have to take the 175th down. That hardly helps them at all. Hardly helps them. But just the strength of what they have here is insane. I think I'm going to take this tank division. Medium tanks, light tanks. Okay, so there's quite a few tanks they've got. Take this tank division up here. Gets them up to 24. 16 here. Move this unit that's in reserve up. And we'll take this unit up here. And you're unready, but I just need the help, so I'm going to send you up here. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Take this cavalry division up here. Gets me up to 11. You're unready. Rifle division's unready. Jeez. This is going to be the weak point in the line. Let's hope they don't break through there. Let's hope they don't know that's the weak point. Can I get more here? I forgot that they have 36 sitting here. It's just crazy. I'm gonna have to sit you to refit. it is a grim looking situation here in the south. Very grim. But that helps. Weaken me in the north a little, but it helps. I can take you south too. So where do I want to take you? Let's bring you here. Try to round it out a little. Okay. Just crazy. Well, yeah. So there's that. If we look at the historical dates, we'll see that we're currently, I mean, like in the south here, they didn't take this until August 19th, so that would be next turn. Up here, the 20th, up here is September, August 17th. So we're actually, for a good part of this entire stretch here of the Dnieper, we're actually doing okay. I mean, it is on like a knife's edge in terms of compared to the historical dates, but it's not like we've kind of kept them to the historical pace in a lot of this. I don't know that we'll be able to hold some of these out for another 3 turns, which is approximately what some of these dates are, but it will be close. Where we probably are behind schedule, though, is just this entire pocket here around these 2 cities and north, these clear plains. I mean, these are all September dates, and they're going to be taking these in the next couple of weeks, so yeah. But overall, again, knowing that we sacrifice in the south to make the north a little more resilient, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. So now what we have to consider is where are we going to bring in our reinforcements? And I still think that around this Ariol pocket is probably the best bet for bringing in a lot of those reserves. So we can set this hex here as the destination because it's far enough away from the front line. Then we can move them south once they arrive. So we're going to do that, set that as the arrival hex. Let's look now at our reserves. What do we got? So, rifle divisions we're going to bring in. I have another one here. 2 more over here. It's Airborne Brigade. I'm curious what his TOE is. 87. That's good enough. Mechanized division. They're not quite there. I want to give them more time. These cavalry divisions we will bring in. They really are kind of the throwaway reinforcement that we've been using. But being able to throw 4,000 men into the range that a cavalry unit has with movement points is very useful in this very fluid environment that we find ourselves in. All of these like tank battalions and tank brigades, they're not even close to the TOE that we need to deploy them. When we look at artillery, very similar story. Anti-tank, has there been any progress there? Not really. There's almost no guns in these things. Look at this. The TOE that they do have is just the number of men. Anti-air, same thing. I mean, 1 gun in each of these. It's really kind of embarrassing, actually. So, yeah, not too much more we can do there with the reserves. Now, in the other theater boxes, I do want to start taking some units here. Like, so from the Far East, we're at 133% for our ground forces, and frankly, that's just a little bit of overkill right now. So what I'm going to do is bring in like these motorized rifle divisions. But you'll see that if we want it to deploy them to the map, it's going to take 4 turns. And honestly, 4 turns from now, I don't know where I'm going to need these to be. So for now, what we're going to do is just transfer them to the reserve box. So let's take these motorized rifle divisions to the reserve box. There we go. And then for these tank divisions, I think I'm going to bring in some of these too. So we'll do 3 tank divisions. And this is definitely going to put us under kind of the minimum that we should have in the Far East theater box. But I feel like we're at a tipping point where if we can just do a little better than we have been for the next 4 turns, I think we'll survive. But I think the next month or so is really going to be decisive in kind of projecting whether or not we're going to make it through this. In the Transcaucasus region, it's significantly fewer forces, so when I look at this, I'm just going to take probably 1 rifle division. We'll do this one, I think. And again, I'm going to take them as Soviet reserves because I don't know 2 turns from now where I would want them to go. So that gives us a little bit more flexibility and foresight into where they end up. In the northern front, I'm going to take, I think 3 rifle divisions is what I'm going to end up taking. Okay. So that is done. And we're going to do depot management. And we're going to end our turn. We're going to see just how much, well, how nerve-wracking is this going to be? Let's see. It's always a tense affair, for sure. Go through the supply phase, logistics phase for the Axis player here, followed by their air execution phase. Overall, I'm going to repeat the same pattern that I've had for pretty much every end of turn episode that we've experienced. I'm feeling really good, right? Like I feel like across the front line, we've established a front, and in many areas, we've established a front that has multiple layers. And I think that our objective of slowing them down is achievable here. Now, when we get to the Axis turn, I think what will probably happen, as has happened in almost every episode, is I'll start seeing them move around stacks of divisions that have, 90 attacking combat value just in one hex and go, well, never mind. We could have 3 layers and it won't stop that. But the thing that I should probably remind myself is that everywhere where I see that instance, maybe they have that in Army Group North, South, and Center. Maybe they have 1 stack like that in each of those army groups, right? The fact is, that won't be enough to propel them all the way to Moscow, Leningrad, and Stalingrad in time, if they just have 1 of those stacks, right? That's not what's going to win it for them. How they need to win is to progressively break through and circle us so we don't have men that are able to retreat and make another stand. And really, if we think about it, the number of instances where our armies have been encircled and have surrendered, apart from the very first 2 turns, which was just a consequence of the historical settings of the war, we haven't really been victim to that, right? The Axis player has not been successful in going through and encircling our units and really kind of depleting us of our manpower pool. And I think for that reason, I think we'll be able to, over time here, slow them down. Because while they've taken a lot of the territory more quickly than the historical dates, I think one of the reasons for that has been we have not allowed ourselves to be encircled in these fighting to the last man in Kiev's type situations that the historical Soviets found themselves in. Literally, as I'm talking about encircled units, they'd show me like the 1 rifle division we have that was encircled, just to try to prove me wrong with my statements there. How courteous of the AI. Oh, okay, so they have really pushed forward here by Leningrad. This is actually where we had withdrawn all of our forces from. So I'm glad we made that decision because they were probably going to push pretty strongly here anyways. Looks like we have held 2 attacks now in this hex. And maybe a third, it looks like. It's very important that we hold this hex for another turn. And we were not able to. Okay. See, 'cause now we're at risk of these rifle divisions being a little cut off from our pivot door here that we have running north-south. Oh, another retreat. This is all a little surprising that they're so successful in these attacks. They've scouted against us here. Interesting. Still holding, it looks like. Right, because we really need to maintain this door going north-south to Leningrad. The fact that they kind of chipped away at us here is a little disappointing. Let's see how well we can hold. Hold. Not Hodor. No spoilers here. Ooh. That's not good. Wow. We held there, though. Okay. We are going to have a lot of battle reports to review. A lot of them. I think this has just really kind of been the effectiveness of their panzers this turn. Because I think for a couple of turns there we didn't see them in too much attacking strength focused against us, but now we are. And it looks like their supply situations are deteriorating on those panzer units. This is south now. I think this is by Veliky Luki. Maybe just a little north. Yeah, just a little north of it. Managing to hold. That's good. Keep holding. Ooh. Rout it. Lost 4,000 men. That's tough. There we were retreated. Okay. So to be curious now to see if they break through in this swamp area. It's going to be really tough for them logistically if they want to push through there. Just scouting us there, scouting there. Oh god, I almost wish there was some type of like auto-resolve so I didn't have to watch this. I guess there is technically if you mess with the settings a little and just walk away for a minute, but it's just so tense. We held there. Still holding the line. They're just all over us. They're really pushing north of Veliky Luki here. But even though we've lost a few hexes, we've also done a pretty good job holding in a lot of the battles. And remember that each time they do an actual attack, not just like a scouting maneuver, right, with a full stack of units, one of those attacks where they throw their full weight into it, they take serious hits to their combat preparation and significantly raise their fatigue. Which all of that turn after turn after turn means that by the time they get to some of these positions along the front line, they don't have the combat value to attack with because they've been so aggressive with their pushing. We're holding here, scouted again. See, because right here they at best have 2-to-1 odds in that hex that they're attacking. And we have that fortification level that is proving to be so useful. Now they just have 1-to-1 odds, so they're not going to be able to break through with that unit at least. Here we held, but that wasn't the main attack, that was just a probing attack. If we manage to hold Smolensk another turn here, I shouldn't have said, literally as I started to say that, they started to attack Smolensk. I should just keep my trap shut. Still holding. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. They lost 128 men to our... Oh, they lost 10 armor and we lost 10 men. That is incredible. Perfectly fine with them finally retreating because that was an incredible victory they had there. Ooh, but this is going to be a problem. Is just north of Smolensk there. We know we're a little weaker in that hex. Ooh, holding. We had a reserve tank division come in and really help there. Can we hold again? Held again. Keep holding, guys. Keep holding. Are we going to do it? I'm so tempted to say it's looking good. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'll let you guys say it for me. Oh boy. So this is now kind of in the south, just west of Kharkov. We are getting pushed back a little here. They're attacking some pretty strong points in our line. So here, right, like this is where they could be very successful if they do the right moves here. They could encircle that rifle division, which would be exactly the type of thing that we don't want to happen. But we'll see if they pull that off. So we'll retreat it here. This is between Smolensk and Oryol. I think we're going to manage to hold there. They're scouting us just... Again, this is all between Oryol and Smolensk. It's looking pretty good. I should shut up, though. We're still holding. Wow. Again. Do they have enough to try another time? They did, but they weren't successful. It's just incredible. Managed to hold that attack. Retreat it there. It's fine, we can't win everyone. Remember we were talking about this, right? If they take like 1 hex towards Moscow each turn until the winter, just 1 hex each turn, it won't be enough. It's very important to remember that. And although they're taking in some areas 1 hex, they're not doing it across the front line, right? They're doing it here and there. Yep, lost that one. Okay, we're gonna lose some. That's fine. No need to panic over that. Ooh, so they repositioned some forces here and they're attacking north. Whereas I expected them to kind of go around this unit. So I'm hoping I didn't weaken these hexes too much. Managed to hold again. It's getting intense. What I would do for this turn just to be over. My goodness. They attacked again. Still holding. And again they attack. Gonna be a lot of recaps to do in the next episode, which is good. I just realized we failed to do the recaps of the battles just north of the Crimea in this episode. My apologies, guys. Okay, so they broke through there. This is kind of that sector of the front that we were worried about, where they can kind of get in and around and where they can use their 6 or whatever panzer divisions they have here. Yep, so they routed us there. Those are some of the expected outcomes we thought might happen. They scouted us there, but nothing too serious happening. Again, scouting. If they do all their forces, they'll probably break through. And then that will be a difficult situation. They lost 20 armor in that attack. Wow. Rout it. Oh boy. That is a lot of routed units on the screen, guys. That's going to start to add up. 2 more divisions routed. My goodness. They lost 40 armor, though. I'm really glad we brought in all those reserves by Oryol. Right? Those are just so timely looking at the map here. Because this is exactly where they're breaking through. And these are the types of decisions, really, that in a game like War in the East 2 or any of the other Gary Grigsby titles, right? Those are the types of decisions, like, where am I going to bring in my reserves? Where can I predict their next breakthrough? And how does that look at a strategic level of the map? that's really such the challenging and interesting aspect of these games, I think. That really is kind of one of a kind. And it's great when you get it right, but you don't always, so I'm going to enjoy this moment. Yeah, they're having a lot of success south, in the south, where this is kind of the Ukraine area. It's all very clear terrain, very easy for them to push through. Yeah, look at all the territory they took there in gray, all those hexes. We managed to hold that attack, and they scouted us. Losing 8 armor to a scouting mission seems so intense. They'll probably attack now. Yeah, and we retreat it. Okay. Yep, so they're starting to break through. They're starting to break through. Can we hold that hex? That will be so key if we can hold that hex. But I don't think we're going to survive the full strength of that stack. Yeah, it was too much. So we were pushed back there. They continue pushing, my goodness. We held, though. That's good. I didn't expect us to hold that one, but they have more attacks coming. They have a lot more they can throw at us there. Let's not get too excited yet. They scouted us and they lost 7 armor. We lost 40. Wow. Wow, look at how far they've pushed up here to the city. Literally the gates of the city. It seems so sudden, but pretty soon we're going to be talking about how we defend Stalino, I think. And one of the tough conversations there's going to be, how do we split up these forces between retreating to Stalino or retreating to the Crimea? That's going to be a tough conversation. And it's going to be very difficult to get that split right. They're really pushing on the city here. They're driving straight towards it with all of their mechanized and armored units. Which is really proving quite successful for them. They lost another 9 armor there, though, in that Panzer Corps. Right here, we're retreated. So they have three of the hexes around the Dniprovsk. We've got about a half-dozen units that are in a rout status. They're actually attacking the city this turn. I didn't expect that so quickly. Wow. Held that one attack, though. That was probably all they'll manage, I'd guess. We'll see how much longer we can hold the city next turn. So yeah, Axis player, you can be done now. I'm okay if you call it quits here and you stop attacking stuff. No complaints from me. Don't know if I'm going to be that lucky, though. Come on. Oh. South by the Dnieper, they move their units. They're trying to attack in a weaker spot now. Oof. This is going to be tough. I don't think we have enough to hold that hex. This is killing me because we took units out of that hex to reinforce another part of the line. I think it might fall this turn. That's not good. Hold. Keep holding. Comrades, do your duty. Oh. They're attacking one of the weak points again. We really reinforced that hex, though. I am so glad they are not concentrating their forces here. This is getting insane. Come on, guys, keep holding. We haven't seen the real attack yet, guys. They're attacking 1 infantry division at a time. We have not seen the real attack yet. Oh, boy. These are all just little maneuvers around us. The actual attack is coming. I would really like them to be done. Come on, guys. Keep holding that hex. Keep holding it. Scouting us there north. Oof. Still being scouted. It's like mind games that the computer's playing against me, seriously. Each time that window pops up, they know I'm thinking, is this it? Is this it? This is where we lose? But really, they're just doing these little scouting maneuvers. That was an actual attack. We held. They're reallocating some guys here. But to where and for what purpose? Going a little dizzy watching them move their screen around like that. Maybe they're done. I should shut up. But maybe they're done. I feel like that's probably what the screen looks like to the computer as I'm sitting there trying to decide where to attack. We held again. We're down to 12 defensive value there. Scouting us again. Looks like we're now seeing the Romanian units. Come on, guys. You can hold. You know you can. Keep holding. Oh boy. Still okay. Still okay. Keep holding. Oh, let this nightmare be over. Yeah, that was an actual attack. Oh, they shifted their focus north there. Again, all the Romanian infantry divisions and cavalry divisions attacking us. Ooh, that hurt. It really dropped our defensive combat value. Oh my goodness, don't let that be the point in which we break. Hold. Hold, hold, hold. If that's the hex, I will be so surprised. Keep holding, guys. Keep holding. Oh, I think we survived. Maybe. I shouldn't jump to that conclusion. It's way too soon for me to jump to that conclusion. Waiting with bated breath. Just jump up to 99%. You're done. 99%. Let's go. Alright. Look at that. They did not capture Smolensk. They did not capture any strategic city. They did not cross the Dnieper. They did not move towards Moscow more than one hex in any location. That was an incredible turn for us. I am very, very happy with that result. We gave up some ground in areas of the south. They broke through in some areas around Aryol. They broke through in some areas north of Aleki Luki. They put pressure on our defenses around Leningrad. But they really didn't take anything that causes us to worry to any extent. So that was a really encouraging turn, guys. That was really good news for us. Let's see what the end of turn summary says, and then we'll close things out. Alright, we'll jump right up to Leningrad here. So, we had a total of 117,000 losses. That is not many. We continue to be around that number each turn, and that is really good news for us. 1,800 guns lost, 700 armor, 406 airframes. On the order of battle net changes, we lost 17,000 men, 1,000 guns, 500 armor, and 463 airframes. Look at this though, guys. This is so exciting. Look at this. The Axis had a net loss in order of battle on the map of 87,000 men. Think about that. That's 8 of our rifle divisions, 9 of our rifle divisions. considering the state of our supply, it's 15 rifle divisions, right? That is an incredible number of men that they have lost on the map in one turn as a net change. 800 guns lost, 200 armor lost. Wow. Very happy with that. 160 units in low supply, 50 under strength, and 94 unready. The 94 unready continues to be a concern for us. But that's looking really good. Really happy with that. Also looks like the Axis high remains at 468 here, so that's where they're at right now. They're not too close there, so we're looking good. RAF raids, so they start raiding in Axis cities at this point in the war. The Axis have not fulfilled their requirements in Italy, and Soviet partisans continue their work. And this, again, is really good news because it tells us that they are throwing more forces than they probably should be at our front because they're not maintaining the levels they should be in Italy. So it's an encouraging sign. It means there's not huge swaths of armies that still could be deployed against us with ease because they're sitting in other theater boxes, right? This tells us that's not the case. So what a wonderful episode, guys. Thank you so much for your continued support of the channel and of Gary Grigsby War in the East too. If you got any questions, comments, or feedback, please toss them in the comments section below. And as always, strategy gamers, hoping you have yourselves an excellent day. Bye now.